Go and tell of Jesus. Romans 10, verse 14 reads, how can they believe in the one of whom they have not heard? As our bus traveled higher and higher on the narrow road along the Andes Mountains, my teammates were busy laughing and singing. I was staring out my window, aghast that there weren't any guardrails between us and the abyss to our right. I was feeling a bit fearful and anxious as we kept going up and up and up, and I started to wonder why our short-term mission team had come to this remote part of Ecuador. Then it dawned on me, God must really love these people if he would send his own son to die for them. Surely I could get through a scary bus ride to express that love with them. It ended up being such a joy to do short Bible lessons, share our testimonies, and pray with the people who welcomed us in the various towns we visited each day. The Apostle Paul was committed to telling others about Jesus so they too could put their trust in him. In Romans 10:13, he says that all who call on Jesus will be saved. But how can they believe in the one whom they have not heard? And how can they hear without someone preaching to them? And how can anyone preach unless they are sent? Romans 10:14-15. There are people all around us who do not know Christ. Let's ask God for the courage to share the good news of Jesus with others. Pray with them and invite them to a church service or activity. Romans 9-11 have presented a challenge to Bible scholars, as these chapters don't seem to fit into the flow of Paul's argument for the gospel of God's grace. The Bible Knowledge Commentary offers helpful insights on the apostles' purpose in writing this section. Paul here discussed God's sovereign choice because of a practical problem. The Jews glorified in the fact that as Israelites, they were God's chosen people. But now, in God's program of salvation in the church, Jewish involvement was decreasing while Gentile participation was becoming dominant. Had God then abandoned the Jewish people? The apostle answers this question directly in chapter 11. I ask then, did God reject his people? By no means. Romans 9-11. Celebrate God's sovereignty and perfect wisdom, concluding with the doxology in chapter 11, verses 33-36. We may not always understand God's ways, but we can join in his purposes by sharing the gospel with others and looking for ways to show them God's love. Romans 10:15. How beautiful are the feet of those who bring good news. So how can you share the message of Christ with those who don't know him? And what tangible things can you do this week to show someone that you care? Dear God, please help me to share Jesus. Amen. Ask God to help you to share Jesus. Simple prayer. Lord, use me to spread the message. Amen. Thank you for joining me in Our Daily Bread reading. I will see you guys in the next ones, God willing. Amen.